Oh, you're recording. This presentation is about my film, The Hamster Files. My name is Gary Ryan. I'm the director and the producer. Themes of the film are going to be about love, loss, guilt, existential crisis, what it is to be human with a slant on the digital age, and the fitness of life. There are themes that have been explored through art throughout the ages, so that they're pretty universal. Synopsis of the film is there's a guy, Harper is the protagonist, and the opening scene, he's in a desolate place, and he's about to kill himself. And the choice of location juxtaposes his desolation and feelings of utter isolation. One of the themes, recurring themes throughout the film is guilt. It's hinted at in the opening scene and touched upon throughout the film. It's part of the human condition and can eat away at an individual. And part of his journey is, accepting his guilt and getting over it. Ironically, his mother's death. He gets a phone call as he's about to kill himself that his mother's dying, and he goes to see her, and that, her death saves him. On her deathbed, she asks him to, make a promise to her. So he's there waiting, tries to tell her that he loves her, and she tells him to look after Harry. Harry turns out to be the hamster. It's quite comedic, but the thing is, the mother, she realizes he's on the edge, and by asking, him to look after the hamster, she knows he's going to stick around for a while longer. He's going to have to fight for a bit longer. Film after this, the mother dies. It touches on grief, acceptance, and the quest for meaning for life. The main characters in it are Harper, his mother who's dying, Harry the hamster, and Goldfish Girl. He's walking along one day, lost, and he sees a girl walking her goldfish. Turns out that she's just as lost as him, and together they find meaning and they find a connection that's pretty hard to find in this life. And the atmosphere of this film, it's going to be quite dreamlike, abstract, surreal, and some sequences are going to be very, very gritty, such as the mother dying. It's going to gritty, show the grim reality of life. There's going to be a few techniques such as time-lapse photography with the stars, a lot of non-diegetic soundtrack, heartbeats, that sort of thing, create an atmosphere, high production values, and it's quite a lot of surreal images. Target audience, it's quite a universal theme. Anybody who's human, feels a lot of these emotions, but because of some of the surreal aspects, it's probably going to be more art house audience. I'm looking at ABC ones, and age range is probably 15 to 50, more of a slant on people over 25 with life experience and death and more of experience of those sort of things. And with the budgets, pre-production budget, it comes in before contingency of 10% at 9,950. A lot of it's to do with storyboard, script editor, director and producer hours. They've spent three and a half days each, working on it. Research, casting, and professional fees such as accountants, setting up companies, lawyers, and location scouting. One thing as well is I decided to set a company up to have a separate legal entity, so this is quite an important part. So the new company setup is 300 quid. And later on, as the film progresses and later on, you'll have professional fees such as accountancy fees. Pre-production, probably something like 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to be spread out, but dedicated hours, director and producer, probably 3 to 3.5 days each. Budget, the actual production itself, it's coming at 39,105, excluding contingency. What I've got is catering. The main thing is location. I'm shooting in an old country house. The rates are 1,500 a day. But with that, it's going to help catering, because it's not going, there's going to be very, very little that's going to be off that site. So that keeps catering costs down. There's going to be some that's shot, say the Sally Gap. There's going to be shooting permits, but that's quite a small cost. Generators as well, when I'm away from electricity supply. But that's, it's quite kind of minimal. With the actors, I've got six days at 750 for the lead actors. These, I'm hoping, they're quite well-known actors. So, I'm willing to spend money on, decent actors. Minor actors, they're 300 a day. And then extras, I've budgeted 18 days at 120 per actor. But that's actually not 18 days, that's maybe 2-3 days. But if you've got 4 people on the same day, that counts as 4 days. I've also budgeted in stand-ins for the main talent. So when, if I want scenes, I don't want to be wasting money on, the main actors being there. I find that quite important. Camera rental, I've looked at Film Base, but this is what I'm looking at. I haven't gone into total detail about the actual equipment, but that's it there. One thing I'm finding quite important is I want to have a monitor on set, because I just feel sometimes, especially with DSLRs, it's easy to take footage that isn't that sharp. Insurance, I've looked at Hiscox, and we're looking at probably 10,000 per annum. But I've apportioned, I'm looking at making possibly 5 films a year, so I've done an apportionment of 1,750. Director, producer, art director, I've put in 2 days for the production. If it's 3 days, that's going to be built as a contingency. Further on down, we've got props 1,500. Prop master, spread over 2 days, probably going to be 1 day in total, which I think is quite important to get the mise en scène right. Travel expenses, subsistence, hotels, just make sure those who are traveling, especially actors, are looked after. Stills photographer for publicity, minibus hire, and per diems. I budgeted 35 euros a day, and I've budgeted probably 60 overall. And night shoots overtime, I've got 5 million just for the extras. So total production costs 39,000, contingency 10,000. And as I said, that should be 2 to 3 days. Budgeted costs, post-production, I'm talking about 30,400. A lot of this, okay, we've got the studio, like editing, color grading, ADR. I want it to look as good as possible. Color grading, I'm going to try and outsource it to a professional color grading house. Music buyout, I've got a couple of songs that I really want to get my hands on, and music composition, one that's it's being composed, so it's original. Publicity, marketing, that's that's a large part of my budget. I'm looking at going to festivals, so I've included subtitles as to be quite important, because like Tokyo, the Asian market, Indian, it's quite a big market. So I just thought, like, to increase my chances, there's going to be subtitles. I've included budget for networking as well, festival entries of 3,000, hosting, and online seating. I think online seating is really important, and I've got a budget of 1,000 there. So accountancy, legal fees of 750-900. So yeah, total post-production is 30,400 with a contingency on top. In summary, the total budget for the film is 79,455 with a contingency on top, making 87,401. The breakdown is pre-production of the total expenditure is 38%, production will be 49%, and post-production 38%, including marketing costs. Post-production sounds high, but I think that's, realistically, to get it out there, that's I'm willing to spend that much. Recouping costs, I'm looking at selling on online platforms. I've looked at the honesty box concept. So it's free, but people, have a choice to pay if they want to. There's actually psychological studies done where if the eyes of the director or the eyes are looking at you, the likelihood of somebody paying is a lot more. So I'm going to play on that in the design of the platform. And looking at festival entries, sourcing investors. I'm looking at, to be honest with you, I think it's a calling card for a feature. So what I'll probably do is look at getting people willing to invest under, Section 481 tax breaks to the main film, but this will cover the cost of the pre-production, of this short. I'm going to contact acquisitions departments directly as well. Use some of my network. The people that I know in the industry. I've worked in the industry in Asia and the UK, so I've got quite a few contacts. And I think the important thing as well is to create a buzz through marketing campaigns. In all likelihood, I may not be able to, recoup the full cost of production, but I think it's going to highlight my skill set as producer director, and I'm looking at extremely high production values. And I think one aspect is the proven ability to make an engrossing film at a competitive budget, and the ability to market and create a brand. I think that's important in this industry. And that is it. I hope you enjoy the film when it comes out. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.